Bush received $1.3 million, mostly for office space. Both Clinton and Bush have earned millions in speaking fees since leaving office. Clinton and former First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton said they earned more than $30 million since January of 2014, reported by the Las Vegas Sun.
And from ABC News, 4 cancer charities and their operators have been charged with shamefully bilking $187 million from consumers, according to a statement issued by the Federal Trade Commission today. According to the FTC, which worked in conjunction with all 50 states, donors were told that their donations would help cancer patients. Those were outright lies, according to Jessica Rich, the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Instead, the FCC said that the majority of funds went to several charity executives who lined their own pockets and spent donations on cars, vacations, college tuition, gym memberships, jet ski outings, and dating site memberships. The FTC said that some also allegedly used charity credit cards at Hooters restaurants to buy lingerie at Victoria's Secret stores. Some charities used donations to send children with cancer to Disney World, said South Carolina Secretary of State Mark Hammond. In this case, the Children's Cancer Fund of America used donations to send themselves to Disney World. The charities included in the federal court complaint brought by the FTC and all 50 states are Cancer Fund of America in Knoxville, Tennessee, Cancer Support Services also in Knoxville, the Children's Cancer Fund of America in Powell, Tennessee, and the Breast Cancer Society in Mesa, Arizona.
In a unanimous vote during a regularly scheduled meeting on May 19, 2015, the Marion County Board of County Commissioners in Florida removed an appointee to the Marion County Industrial Development Authority following objectionable remarks made by the appointee on a social media forum. Marcel Verando, who was first appointed to the IDA by board vote in June 2011 and then again in December of the same year, was removed from the advisory board service effective immediately. His term would have expired in November 2015. A statement issued in the news release reads, and it is credited to Commission Chairman Stan McLean, quote, "On behalf of the Marion County Board of County Commissioners, I extend my sincerest apologies to all members of our community for the racially and culturally insensitive comments made on social media by an appointee to one of our local advisory boards. Those comments do not represent this board's nor our dedicated county staff's views and will not be tolerated," unquote. Verando posted the comments to a thread on the Marion County Political Forum Facebook page on Monday, May 18th of 2015. This is from a release from the Marion County Board of County Commissioners.
And from Fox News, North Korea claimed this morning that it has manufactured nuclear warheads small enough to fit on the head of a missile, an announcement that is likely to ratchet up tensions in East Asia, particularly with South Korea. According to Yonhap News, a spokesman for North Korea's National Defense Commission said that the development of the alleged weapons was part of an initiative to boost Pyongyang's self-defense capability. It is long since the DPRK's nuclear striking means it has entered the stage of producing smaller nukes and diversifying them, the spokesman said, using the acronym of North Korea's official name, DPRK, which stands for Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
A liberal advocacy group with close ties to the Obama White House is calling for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to be merged with the FBI, saying it will lead to stricter enforcement of gun laws. The Center for American Progress said its 2-year study of the ATF found that the agency cannot keep up with the challenges of enforcing gun laws and regulating the firearms firearms industry. This is a quote from Arkady Journey, CAP Senior Vice President. Too often, the leadership, management, and resources lag behind the dedication of the agents. With 33 people murdered with guns in the United States every day, it is time to think big about how best to fulfill ATF's mission, unquote, reported by the Washington Times.
And from the Associated Press, the Norwegian Dawn cruise ship with more than 3,500 people on board ran aground in Bermuda yesterday afternoon after the vessel temporarily lost power as the ship was departing. Cruise line officials and the U.S. Coast Guard said the ship, with 2,675 passengers and 1,062 crew members, was departing King's Wharf in Bermuda when it lost power. The ship's propulsion was affected, and at which time the vessel made contact with the channel bed. All guests and crew are safe, Norwegian Cruise Line said in a statement. The ship has full power and onboard services continue as scheduled.
The sight of a stuffed tiger, a very large white stuffed tiger, lashed to the top of an SUV cruising around a southwest Washington lake was enough to generate a 911 call from someone who apparently thought it was real. The Columbian newspaper of Vancouver is reporting that Connor Zuvik says he was by Locamus Lake in Camas on Monday with some friends when a truck came by and dumped some trash in the giant tiger. Zuvik tied it to the top of his vehicle. Then he and his friends started cruising around the lake in the enhanced SUV. Officer Henry Scott was sent to investigate the Tiger 911 call, described by Camas police as an animal problem. The 19-year-old Zuvik says he and the officer traded jokes and photos, then parted ways. Other drivers also got the joke, honking and giving him a thumbs-up sign. As Zuvik says, the thing looked really realistic, reported by the Associated Press.
And also from the Associated Press, baby spiders are falling from the sky in a town in Australia, according to a local media report. Millions of spiders seemingly dropped from above earlier this month in the town that is about 125 miles southwest of Sydney, according to the Goulburn Post. It quoted the local resident, Ian Watson, who reportedly posted on the Goulburn Community Forum page. Anyone else experiencing this, he writes, angel hair, or maybe also known as millions of spiders falling from the sky right now. I'm 10 minutes out of town, and you can clearly see hundreds of little spiders floating along with their webs, and my home is covered in them. Someone call a scientist. The scenario, nightmares as it may be for those who suffer from arachnophobia, is entirely plausible, experts say. We'll take a little break and catch up on the weather forecast and listen to a couple of commercial announcements, and we'll be right back with more News Bites.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon and evening. The high today 89 to 93, and partly cloudy overnight, low 69 to 73. A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow with an afternoon or evening thunderstorm, the high 90 to 94. For Friday, partly sunny with a shower or thunderstorm in the area, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Washing a paper cup with water can make it feel better, at least temporarily. You probably know that grapes contain compounds that are proven to improve our health, but those same compounds are toxic to dogs, so never give them grapes or raisins. Short dates? Send the message that we're busy, which makes us interesting. They also let us part on a high note and walk away thinking, I can't wait to see that person again.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Hospice of Marion County has an urgent need for volunteers to share a conversation with someone, run errands, hold someone's hand. All you need is a willingness to help others. Our volunteers believe the blessings they receive far exceed the services they offer. Will you consider serving, caring, and making a difference? Call today, 873-7441. Hospice of Marion County, making more moments of life possible.
All right, 12 minutes before 9 o'clock. Nice looking Wednesday morning. Let's return to News Bites. The next story is from ABC News. New video apparently shows a substitute teacher in Maryland beating a student with what appears to be a leather belt. In the video, children can be heard screaming as they try to run away. The alleged incident took place on May 15th at Gwynn Park Middle School. The video has already been seen by hundreds of thousands of people online. The circumstances behind the teacher's behavior are not known, but town residents and parents are outraged.
Authorities say a 73-year-old base jumper who died after leaping from an Idaho bridge had set his parachute on fire as part of a stunt. A graphic video of the fatal jump posted to YouTube on Monday shows someone engulfed in flames and falling from the Perrine Bridge into the Snake River 500 feet below. James E. Hickey had apparently planned to ditch the flaming parachute and deploy a second chute in the May 7th stunt. Professional base jumper Sean Chuma told Twin Falls newspaper The Times News that he had heard Hickey successfully perform the stunt skydiving. The initial report from the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office said only that Hickey's parachute had deployed too late. The video shows two base jumpers climbing over the railing of the Perrine Bridge and leaping at about the same time. While one jumper glides safely away underneath the parachute, the other becomes engulfed in a fireball and falls quickly out of view. The video pans back to the river just after the burning jumper hits the water. A boat arrives seconds later and the video ends, reported by the Associated Press.
Also from the Associated Press, Nate Waits wakes up before 3 a.m. 4 days a week to get to his job at a Bentonville distribution center for Walmart Stores Incorporated, where the former Marine is among more than 92,000 veterans the company has hired in the past 2 years. As the 2-year anniversary approaches of the Veterans Welcome Home Commitment Program the company launched on Memorial Day 2013, the retail giant announced this morning that it is expanding its original plan to hire 100,000 veterans by the year 2018 to hire a total of 250,000 recently discharged veterans by the year 2020. Chris Soltemeyer, Executive Vice President for Logistics at Walmart, said the company has been pleased with the skills that the veterans bring to a range of positions, including retail, distribution, and management. He said about 8,000 of the original hires have already been promoted.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft announced today that his team will not fight NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell's decision to strip the team of a first-round draft pick, a fourth-round draft pick, and $1 million as punishment for Deflategate. In a long statement at the league meeting, Kraft explained that he thinks it's in the best interests of the league if the Patriots take their medicine, even if they disagree with Goodell's decision. Here is Kraft's statement, quote, "It's been an emotionally charged couple of weeks, as all of you know, and I've been considering what my options are. Throughout this whole process, there have been two polarizing audiences. At one end of the spectrum, we've had Patriots fans throughout the country who have been so supportive and really inspirational to us and believing in us," unquote, reported by MSNBC.
And from entertainment, this at USA Today. Things were bound to get weird on last night's Letterman show, where Bill Murray stopped by for the Late Show's second to last episode. Murray and Letterman go way back. He was the first guest on two of Letterman's Late Show incarnations. So what better way to say goodbye than covering everyone in icing? After clawing his way out of a fake Goodbye Dave cake, he gives Dave a bear hug covering him in icing and proceeds to roam around the set, smearing cake on the band and a few lucky audience members. And the last David Letterman show is tonight.
Walmart's first quarter earnings missed Wall Street's forecast partly due to a recent wage increase for employees and a stronger U.S. dollar. The massive retail company reported revenue of $114 billion, down 0.1% from last year, and income of $3.34 billion, down from $3.59 billion. Shares were reported at $1.03 each, down from $1.11 a share last year. Analysts expected earnings of $1.05 a share. According to Walmart, operating income fell because of its investment in wage increases for employees and the negative impact of currency exchange rates that are fluctuating by a stronger U.S. dollar, reported by UPI.
And from CNN, ISIS militants this morning stormed and captured roughly a third of a central Syrian city that's just meters from the ancient ruins of Palmyra. According to the London-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, ISIS fighters entered Tadmur, a modern city of thousands of people, this morning after days of fighting with Syrian government forces in the area over the past week. The observatory said UN and Syrian officials have expressed fears that if the Palmyra ruins fall under ISIS control, the group will destroy them, just as it bulldozed the ancient Assyrian city of Nimrud and took sledgehammers to statues in the Mosul Museum.
Takata Corporation has reached an agreement with U.S. regulators to accuse the company of failing to cooperate with an investigation into faulty airbags linked to 6 deaths and the recalls of about 28 million cars worldwide. The U.S. Transportation Department will announce a fine and reveal possible causes of the airbag defects, and this is according to the people who asked not to be named because the agreement has not yet been made public. The agreement also includes an expanded recall in the United States that will add about 17 million vehicles to the list of those needing repair, reported by Bloomberg.
And from Fox News, the Hillary Clinton email mystery took yet another confusing turn yesterday with accusations from Republicans that the former Secretary of State misled the public about her email practices by using multiple secret addresses despite claims to the contrary. However, a spokesman with the House committee probing the 2012 Benghazi attack and Clinton's handling of it would not go so far. Rather, he told Fox News the confusion only further underscores the need to subject Clinton's private server to a third-party analysis, saying that's the only way to resolve this.
The tropics may be calm now, but there's a frenzy of activity at the Florida Emergency Operations Center located in Tallahassee. Brian Kuhn at the Division of Emergency Management says the annual hurricane drill is underway. This is his quote, "This is our annual event. We do it each May to make sure that we, as a state, are ready for hurricane season, which starts on June 1st. So we're bringing together all of the members of the state emergency response teams to walk through a realistic scenario, get ourselves ready for the upcoming hurricane season," unquote. Florida has not been hit by a hurricane in 10 years, so these drills are more important than ever. It's about the only time the emergency operations team is fully activated, reported by the Florida News Network.
And from the Washington Times, the Boy Scouts of America has put out approved activities for its members, and water gun fights are strictly prohibited. A blog for the organization's leaders said May 6th that pointing simulated firearms at people is not allowed. Why the rule? A scouter once told me this explanation that I liked quite a bit. A scout is kind. What part of pointing a firearm, simulated or otherwise, at someone is kind, said Brian Wendell on the scouting website. The rule is clarified in the Boy Scouts of America National Shooting Manual, which says, quote, "For water balloons, use small biodegradable balloons and fill them no larger than a ping pong ball. Water guns and rubber band guns must only be used to shoot at targets, and eye protection must be worn," unquote.
There are still more than 9,000 untested rape kits in crime labs in 5 major U.S. cities. The backlog includes more than 2,800 untested kits in San Diego, California, nearly 2,000 untested kits in both Jacksonville, Florida, and Portland, Oregon, more than 1,300 in Kansas City, Missouri, and more than 1,000 in Charlotte, North Carolina. Federal estimates indicate that there are probably hundreds of thousands of untested kits nationwide, reported by CBS.
And from CNS, in the 10-year period from 2003 to 2012, the number of American children 5 through 17 years old who were being homeschooled by their parents climbed by 61.8%, according to newly released data from the U.S. Department of Education. At the same time, the percentage of all U.S. students in the 5 through 17-year age group who were homeschooled increased from 2.2% to 3.4%. Homeschooling is most prevalent in two-parent families where one parent works and the other does not, according to the Department of Education data. Among this type of family, 5.3% of all students are homeschooled.
Texas police asked rival motorcycle gangs yesterday to put aside their differences after a weekend brawl at a Waco restaurant that left 9 people dead and 18 injured, calling for a halt to the carnage and threats of revenge attacks. This is a quote from Police Sergeant Patrick Swanton. "There has been enough tragedy and there has been enough bloodshed in Waco, Texas. We would appreciate there not being any more," unquote. He added that threats for reprisal against police from motorcycle gangs have toned down but are still a worry for law enforcement officials who arrested 170 people following Sunday's brawl at the Twin Peaks Sports Bar and Grill in the central Texas city, reported by Reuters.
The next story is from CBS. Federal consumer watchdogs say PayPal illegally signed up customers for the online payment processor's online credit product. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau yesterday filed a lawsuit in federal court charging PayPal with enrolling customers in the product called PayPal Credit without their permission. Customers were also allegedly required to use the service formerly called Bill Me Later instead of other payment methods. The CFPB alleges that tens of thousands of consumers were automatically enrolled in PayPal Credit without realizing it, often when they were signing up for a regular PayPal account or making purchases. Others were signed up while trying to halt the enrollment process, according to the agency. That's all the time we have for News Bites. We need to move forward. Robin, how many stories were we able to get in? 23. We will take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. As Iran nuclear talks continue, the country's supreme leader setting limits.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei today saying international inspectors will not be allowed to interview Iran's nuclear scientists. He's also previously ruled out inspections of military sites. Both sides have tentatively agreed to a stepped-up inspection regime, but it seems there are differences on the details.
Fox Radio Simon Owen, the largest auto recall in U.S. history, getting underway.
Nearly 1 out of every 7 vehicles on U.S. roads could have Takata airbags in them. The company is adding more than 18 million airbags to existing recalls from 11 different automakers, bringing the total recall to 34 million vehicles. Find out if your car is on the list. Go to foxnewsradio.com.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. And Walmart announcing it's expanding the number of military veterans it hires because its plan to hire 100,000 had been so successful. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Performance Bicycle, where great rides begin. Wants your great ride to start now. Now through Memorial Day, it's the Red Tag Sale at performancebike.com. Over 1,000 items on sale, plus free shipping. Red Tag deals on helmets, clothing, parts, accessories, and hundreds of bikes are priced to sell now. Plus 50 doorbusters at 50% off, but only while supplies last. Don't miss Performance Bicycle's Red Tag Sale, plus free shipping at performancebike.com.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of Choice Hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
This is a public notice. Local residents can now save thousands of dollars on their next car, truck, or SUV. It's not a tent sale, because no tent is big enough to hold this many cars. It's OcalaForSale.com. Say goodbye to sticker shock. OcalaForSale.com has thousands of vehicles with no stickers at all. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, loss proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
La Famiglia Pizzeria has moved into Ocala. Stop by today at 2504 Southeast 17th Street and see for yourself what everyone is talking about.
Awesome place. I never get pizza anywhere else.
Great New York style pizza and dishes.
Best pizza in Ocala.
One trip and you'll agree La Famiglia Pizzeria is the best. La Famiglia Pizzeria. Stop by for a pizza that you'll love or call in and order yours for pickup. 352-245-2419. La Famiglia Pizzeria.
The classic musical My Fair Lady is live on stage at the Ocala Civic Theater beginning May 14th and running through June 7th. Directed and choreographed by Katrina Plouffe, you'll experience the immortal magic of Wouldn't It Be Loverly, The Rain in Spain, Get Me to the Church on Time, and so many more. Tickets are just $25 for adults and $12 for full-time students. For more information or to purchase tickets, call 352-236-2274 or go online to okalacivictheater.com.
Got a morning or afternoon free this summer? Then check out the rolling hills of Pine Oaks Golf Course in Ocala. Clark Creamer and his staff will offer you a rich golfing experience that allows you to play this Ron Garl design. A fully stocked pro shop along with a snack bar and driving range offer the full golfing experience. So come check out Pine Oaks Golf of Ocala. For more information, go to pineoaksocala.com. Book your tee times now.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Check this out.
New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. The same great sports talk?
I'm seeing it right now.
Wrong.
Wrong again? Wrong.
It's better.
There are so many great things going on in sports.
We gotta get it. We gotta get it. From our mics.
Test.
To your ears.
The latest update we got is...
All right, it's 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. We had a guest schedule, which is why we had a few more commercials than usual. We were trying to connect with our guest. Dr. Elizabeth Yoon is scheduled to be with us right now, but she's not on the phone. So we will move on to something else. She's got a book called Spirit's Path. It's a story of 3 women. I think the book is interesting, but I don't know what happens. People sometimes schedule themselves to be on the show and they forget to come on. They back out. It just drives me nuts.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean they don't have something to talk about. So there was a couple of stories that I thought you might really could sink your teeth into. Listen to this one. The Obama administration is preparing to give illegal aliens a free pass when it comes to getting busted by local law enforcement for violating immigration laws. That's the first line in this story.
Oh, man.
In a 100-page report, the Obama-appointed Task Force on 21st Century Policing has recommended that the Department of Homeland Security, quote, decouple federal immigration enforcement from routine local policing for civil enforcement and non-serious crime. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security should terminate the use of the state and local criminal justice system, including through detention, notification, and transfer requests, to enforce civil immigration laws against civil and non-serious criminal offenders. Unquote. Instead of arresting and detaining undocumented immigrants for crossing the border illegally, the report advises, again, another quote from the
Obama administration.
From the recommendation, law enforcement agencies should build relationships based on trust with immigrant communities. This is central to overall public safety, unquote. The report also recommends that law enforcement agencies should ensure reasonable and equitable language access for all persons who have encounters with police or who enter the criminal justice system. And the U.S. Department of Justice should not include civil immigration information in the FBI's National Crime Information Center database. Law enforcement agencies should ensure reasonable and equitable language access for all persons who have encounters with police. Now, how are they going to do that?
I know.
How are they going to do that? Okay, I mean, you know how many languages are on the planet?
Yeah, there's
So
a lot of
it's the responsibility of the law enforcement agencies to make sure you've got somebody at your disposal who can speak any language that might happen to show up at your doorstep as an illegal immigrant case.
That is the most ridiculous.
I mean, really, how are you supposed to do that?
Yeah.
How is a police department supposed to do that? Okay.
That costs money.
I mean, what are they going to do? Find somebody who speaks Czechoslovakian and Polish and,
Exactly.
and Russian
Or
and
Farsi.
German and
There's Farsi.
Spanish and Farsi.
Exactly. There's French.
I mean, gosh.
There's different
But,
dialects
and
of Spanish.
and there's no need to carry on about the list of languages because the simple thing is they're putting the burden on the police department. Their job is to enforce the law.
Exactly.
You put a law on them that says you have to have somebody at your disposal who can speak any given language of anybody who might be considered an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
Or have an immigration issue.
Gee.
The U.S. Department of Justice should not include civil immigration information in the FBI's National Crime Information Center database. So in other words, so the local police department arrests somebody and they've got a civil immigration issue. We'll leave that part of the FBI. Whatever we give the FBI, we won't include that part.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing.
Isn't that
Crime
the
is a
dumbest
crime.
thing?
It is dumb. It is really dumb. A crime.
I mean,
is
wasn't
a crime.
that exactly the opposite of what we learned from the 911 attacks? Was that communicating completely was so important?
Exactly.
So communicating incompletely now, we're going to communicate incompletely because we're told to. Another quote from it says, immigrants often fear approaching police officers when they are victims of and witnesses to crimes and when local police are entangled with federal immigration enforcement.
Yeah, because they're here illegally. They know they're doing wrong, so don't even come over here. Gee.
At all levels of government, it is important that laws, policies, and practices not hinder the ability of local law enforcement to build the strong relationships necessary to public safety and community well-being. Okay?
Yeah, you need
I agree with that part, of course.
Sure.
It is the view of this task force that whenever possible, state and local enforcement should not be involved in immigration enforcement.
No,
State and local enforcement should not be involved in immigration enforcement.
I disagree with that. A crime is a crime. I don't care if you're here legally or illegally. If you do any kind of a crime, even shoplifting, or spitting at somebody, and you're reported, you should be arrested.
Okay, and that would be considered, I don't know if that's considered a nonviolent crime or not, spitting at somebody.
Yeah.
But I can remember when I worked for the Juvenile Detention Center that there was a kid, somebody under 18, who was an illegal immigrant, who had broken the law. I don't remember what he did. It probably wasn't anything serious. Otherwise, I'd probably remember it. But the point is that we were at that point, we were done at that point because we had to wait for immigration officials to come and pick the kid up.
Yeah.
So whatever law he broke, and of course our job was just to detain somebody until the legal system could do whatever needed to be done.
And your hands were tied, even though he did a crime. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, our job was
you
never.
You don't wait till your dad gets home. You take care of it right then.
The job of detention centers and jails is supposed to be just a place to wait until you are adjudicated. Mm-hmm. And then once you are adjudicated as a juvenile, then you're sent to some kind of a commitment facility. Mm-hmm. If you're an adult, then you're sent to a prison. Jail and detention centers were never intended to be the place for you to spend your punitive time,
right?
Your penal time.
Yes.
Okay. They are used for those things. Judges often will say you're sentenced to the jail for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the intent. And in the case of an illegal immigrant who is picked up for some other law violation, the fact that they are moved from that facility to another one run by the immigration folks is really not that different than what we would do anyway. So that part I didn't have a problem with. The federal and the Federation for American Immigration Reform, also known by its acronym of FAIR, commented, quote, if the recommendations of the task force were put in place and no state and local enforcement or information sharing was permitted, all remaining vestiges of immigration controls would cease to exist in the United States. All right, let's take a little break. And if you have a comment on this, I'd love to hear from you. The number is 622-9622. I apologize, I spoke over the weather, but I'll play it right now. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and sunshine today with a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon and evening. The high today 89 to 93, and partly cloudy overnight, low 69 to 73. A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow with an afternoon or evening thunderstorm, the high 90 to 94. For Friday, partly sunny with a shower or thunderstorm in the area, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
Cookies, 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 cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order.
Cookies, cookies,
Yum.
cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
The Great American Cookie Company.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Ooh, a xylophone sounds dreamy.
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, Robin. I'm shipping it to the Musical Historical Society.
And you're packing it like that?
What, this won't work?
Why don't you take it to the Personal Service Center at the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street in Ocala? Just look for the yellow signs.
Great idea. That'll save me a lot of time.
The passing of time.
Personal Service Center makes sending packages easy.
And quick, call 789-6683
For the Personal Service Center. All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. Got a good lineup still up ahead. Laura Burns is coming in just a little while. She is, of course, with Career Source, Citrus Levy Marion. She'll be giving us some information about some job opportunities that are out there in our tri-county region, Citrus County, Levy County, and Marion County. And then we've got a good lineup the rest of the morning. All right, I'm going to kind of set this topic of the immigration enforcement story aside. If you want to call in about it, I will welcome you to do that. In fact, let me take this call first before I move on to something else. But there was one other thing I wanted to bring up, and it's probably worth talking about, but this one might be the heavier topic. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Larry and Robin. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Lenny?
Pretty good. You know, the immigration issue could go away tomorrow if the politicians wanted to go away tomorrow by simply, I don't care if a person is from Germany, England, France, Mexico, Brazil, wherever. Most of them work. I was talking to a young guy the other day. He went out in the peanut field after his regular job to make some money, and clearly there were a lot of people there. In his opinion, he thought that they were probably illegals. Well, if they were, clearly the people that hired them has a responsibility to make sure that they are not. You're supposed to check to make sure. I can guarantee if they start locking up the people, the multimillionaires and all these people that are hiring these people, it would end that question tomorrow. Because most of them, I don't care where they're from, and I don't care what kind of industry they're in, whether it be hotel, motel, high-tech, agriculture. You have to pretty well, I mean, and if you're not willing to lock these people up when they violate the law, just like the people that they hire violate the law, then I think the politicians should, that's exactly what they know why they're doing it. I mean, it keeps controversy and they can talk out of both sides of their mouth. They can make money from their constituents while condemning those people that are coming over here. But it's so simple. Just lock up the people that hire.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't push any buttons for me. I don't disagree with what you're saying there. I do want to comment on one thing. You said most of the illegal immigrants are working. That may be true, but you have to have some rules for becoming a citizen, and those are the rules that are in place. And you have to have some kind of a penalty for violating that rule. And the biggest penalty is you got to go home. You can't stay here.
No.
And you're right. If most of them are here, because there's work opportunities, and those work opportunities, A, take jobs away from Americans,
Yep.
and B, pay lower wages than an American would be required to be paid, then you're right. I think the person doing the hiring needs to answer to that. Not only that, but the person who's doing the hiring. Oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, I was distracted. But anyway, the point is you have to have rules of immigration. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Robin. I totally agree with Lenny. Furthermore, they keep talking about we have to do something about it. Well, something has been done. All you have to do is look up the immigration bill, an immigration amnesty bill of 1986. I mean, there is a comprehensive bill there, and it's basically not just for the immigration, but it's supposed to protect our country. Unfortunately, both parties, or major parties, and more or less everybody in Washington, after the bill was passed, they threw it under the bus, and it was like it never existed. But believe me, if you read that bill, take the time and look it up, you will see how comprehensive it is. And had we maybe enforced that bill and did everything that was there, our Twin Towers, I would say, be 60% chance more that they'd still be standing today. Because there was, if you read the story on that, it's a wonder these guys ever got anywhere with that scheme, other than the fact that we had a government that was more interested in themselves than representing the people that elected them. So anyway, really look into the 1986 bill. And we've had Democrat presidents or administrations and Republican administrations. Both were equally bad. Both were just not doing their jobs. And to me, that is where the problem lies. And, what Lenny said, too, is throw these people that hire these illegals in jail. I mean, that would end a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I do agree with that. In fact, we've had some stories, and I hate to bring up examples because I'll probably get them wrong, but we've had people calling us, so it's hearsay as far as I'm concerned. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that we've had some construction projects in our own community that were not hiring local workers who could have had those jobs, but instead were paying lower wages to illegals.
Right,
the improvement on southwest 60th Avenue, Airport Road, from one end to the other, was done by illegal aliens, because when we stopped to try to ask them about, what's going on here, none of them could speak English. They had all of a sudden, because we're trying to talk to them, some guy comes out of the woodwork, and all of a sudden he starts talking to us and trying to get us to move on.
Okay. Thank you, son. Yeah, that's a...
This is, again, government at its... I'll say it with my tongue in my cheek. Government at its best.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Sonny. All right, let me try, because I don't know that the story I was trying to tell you got through. Because I hear that we're debating the same things we've always debated. This is a different debate.
Yeah.
It's part of that bigger debate, but this is the smaller, but still, I think, important debate. The story is that the 100-page report that I was talking to you about the task force on 21st century policing, basically, I'm going to try to put it in my own words, tells police departments and sheriff's offices and what they call local law enforcement agencies to decouple I do have to read it to you. Decouple non-serious crimes and civil enforcements from illegal immigrant statuses.
Yeah.
So in other words, if you arrest somebody for stealing a candy bar, and that person happens to be an illegal immigrant, then your responsibility as a law enforcement person is to say, okay, here's the misdemeanor charge for the candy bar, and P.S., you're going to be deported, or we're going to get you to the immigration people to make that decision. This new thing says you don't do that. You decouple it.
That is sad.
Okay, am I making, because maybe I didn't make it clear. I have a bad problem with that. Decouple federal immigration enforcement from routine local policing. That's the statement. So if you happen to catch somebody with a non-serious crime, is what it says, non-serious, or a civil enforcement, I guess that would be a traffic stop or something, you used to be required to bring them to the detention center, to the jail, or to something like that, which you still are. But once they get there, you have to decouple that from the fact that they happen to be an illegal immigrant. And don't even report it to the FBI.
I don't agree with that.
And you're responsible for needing to know, your agency is responsible for needing to know the language of any given immigrant or illegal immigrant.
That's not right.
It's not. For those of you who think I'm picking on the illegal immigrants, I could be. I mean, I'm sure there are some cases where I should be. And I'm not. And I'm sure there are many cases when it would be unfair for me to do that. This is not about that. This is about a directive to your police officers and your local jurisdictions, the sheriff's office, the police department, whoever else is out there doing the law enforcement, right?
Yeah.
If you arrest somebody for a non-serious crime and they happen to be illegal, don't report that part. That's what it says.
Turn the other cheek.
And if you think I'm putting my own words there, it says, the U.S. Department of Justice should not include civil immigration information in the FBI's National Crime Information Center database.
That's not right.
Those are the words. Just to be clear, because it didn't seem like either Lenny's call or Sonny's call were focusing on that.
That's right.
And I just wanted to be sure you understood what it was about. Or we've got about a minute left. Good morning. You're on the air.
Sonny, again, quick comment. A lot of these sheriff departments that you're talking about receive federal training on how to handle illegal immigrants because supposedly we were going to round them up, like you said, and ship them back. But you see how that works. Take care. And
illegal immigration is in itself a violation.
Yes, it's against the law.
But they're asking the law enforcement, and so you wouldn't even be able to arrest somebody just for that by itself.
Right, exactly.
But if an illegal immigrant violates the law or has a civil infraction, like I said, speeding or parking in the wrong place or something like that, and they happen to be illegal, don't include that in the report.
No.
That's basically what it says.
Exactly, that's wrong.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure that I made that clear. You want a job? Laura Burns is going to tell you where there is one. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. As Iran nuclear talks continue, the country's supreme leader setting limits.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei today saying international inspectors will not be allowed to interview Iran's nuclear scientists. He's also previously ruled out inspections of military sites. Both sides have tentatively agreed to a stepped-up inspection regime, but it seems there are differences on the details.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen, the largest auto recall in U.S. history, getting underway.
Nearly 1 out of every 7 vehicles on U.S. roads could have Takata airbags in them. The company is adding more than 18 million airbags to existing recalls from 11 different automakers, bringing the total recall to 34 million vehicles. Find out if your car's on the list. Go to foxnewsradio.com.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. And Walmart announcing it's expanding the number of military veterans it hires because its plan to hire 100,000 had been so successful. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Performance Bicycle, where great rides begin. Wants your great ride to start now. Now through Memorial Day. It's the Red Tag Sale at PerformanceBike.com. Over 1,000 items on sale. Plus free shipping. Red Tag deals on helmets, clothing, parts, accessories, and hundreds of bikes are priced to sell now. Plus 50 doorbusters at 50% off. But only while supplies last. Don't miss Performance Bicycle's Red Tag Sale. Plus free shipping at PerformanceBike.com.
At Choice Hotels, we know business trips start with a choice. Stay or go. You can press send or press palms. Start a chat room or chat in an actual room. Just remember, opportunities won't come to you. You got to get out there to get things done.
Should I stay or should I go?
ChoiceHotels.com makes it fast and easy to find a range of choice hotels like Comfort Inn and Suites. So stay with us for business and book now at ChoiceHotels.com. You always have a choice.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Check this out.
New shows? Check. Check. Some new talent? Check. The same great sports talk?
I'm seeing it right now.
Wrong.
Wrong again?
Wrong.
Wrong.
It's better.
There are